Hidden in my parked car, I watched my unfaithful wife slip into the hotel with her lover, then swiftly dialed his wife. Come quickly. They're trying to hide their affair at the hotel. Be me Adam, 31 years old, living in Boston, working as a successful software architect at a major tech company, married to Claire for 10 years. Life seems perfect from the outside, until today. Sitting in my black Audi, gripping the steering wheel, knuckles turning white from the pressure, parked where I won't be noticed, watching the scene unfold across the parking lot. There she is, Claire, my wife, standing there, laughing, holding hands with a man who isn't me. It's Eric from her office. She looks so happy, so carefree, like she doesn't have a husband waiting at home, a husband who adores her. The sight hits me like a punch to the gut, but what happens next destroys me completely. Watch them walk into the clinic together, her arm wrapped around his, like they're some perfect couple. Mind refuses to accept what I'm seeing? Stare at the sign. Women's Health Center. My suspicions explode into certainty. They're here for an abortion. The thought makes my stomach churn. Can barely breathe as rage replaces disbelief. Don't storm out of the car. Don't scream. Don't cry. Stay perfectly calm. There's power in calmness. A lethal kind of power. The kind I need right now. Pull out my phone. Dial a number I never thought I'd use. Found it during my late-night investigations, when I first suspected something was wrong. A woman answers. Hello? It's Diana, Eric's wife. Voice steady but low when I speak. Diana, this is Adam. Have to keep my composure. Your husband and my wife are at the Women's Health Center right now. Each word feels like acid in my mouth. They're getting an abortion to cover up their little affair. Grip the phone tighter. If you hurry, you can catch them red-handed. Silence on the other end. Hear her sharp intake of breath. Are you serious? She asks, her voice trembling with shock. Dead serious. My voice cold as ice. I'm sitting in the parking lot watching them right now. Diana hangs up without another word. The weight of what I just did doesn't hit immediately. Instead, feel dark satisfaction creeping in. This is just the beginning. The storm I'm about to unleash will consume them both. Stay in my car. Watch the clinic's door like a hawk. Minutes tick by slowly. Then I see her. Diana arrives in her red Mercedes, slams her car door so hard it echoes, marches toward the building. Her fury is visible from here. Can't help but feel grim sense of camaraderie. With this woman I've never met before. She's on my side now, whether she realizes it or not. Door to the clinic opens. Claire steps out. Eric right behind her. Met him once at a company party last summer. Back then he seemed harmless, even charming. Now he's nothing but a snake in the grass. Diana's voice cuts through the morning air, sharp as a blade. Eric, she screams. Watch him freeze, all color draining from his face. Claire's eyes go wide with panic. She lets go of his arm instantly, like that would somehow make it all disappear. Step out of my car now. Making my presence known, Claire's head snaps in my direction. The look on her face is priceless, mix of shock, guilt, and pure panic. Adam, she starts. Hold up my hand to silence her. Save it, I say coldly. My voice betrays none of the hurricane inside me. Diana isn't as composed as me. She marches straight up to Eric, slaps him across the face so hard the sound echoes. You disgusting pig, she yells, her voice shaking with rage. You've been cheating on me with her? Points an accusatory finger at Claire. Watch Claire shrink back like the coward she is. Eric starts stammering, trying to come up with some excuse. But Diana cuts him off. Don't even try, she spits. I'm done with you. Turn to face Claire. She's staring at me, tears welling up in her eyes. Adam, I can explain, she says, her voice breaking. Explain? I echo. Let the venom drip from every word. What exactly do you plan to explain, Claire? The affair? Or the fact that you were willing to kill the evidence? She flinches like I'd slapped her. Don't feel an ounce of sympathy. For the first time in years, I see her for what she truly is. A liar, a betrayer, a stranger wearing my wife's face. Eric tries to step between us. Shoot him a look that makes him freeze. Don't even think about it, I warn. The clinic staff starts peeking through windows, obviously wondering about the commotion. Don't care anymore. Let them see. Let the whole world see. Claire stands frozen, her tear-filled eyes darting between me and Eric. The parking lot feels like a stage. We're the main actors in some tragic play. One none of us signed up for, except I wasn't the one who wrote this script. They were. Claire clutches her designer purse like a lifeline. Eric shifts nervously under Diana's unrelenting glare. Diana, face twisted in fury, grabs Eric's collar. How dare you drag me into this public humiliation, she hisses, her voice trembling with rage. Eric stumbles backward, raises his hands defensively. Diana, please, he begs. Not here. Let's talk about this privately. His voice trying to sound calm, but his darting eyes betray his panic. Diana isn't backing down, and neither am I. Take a step closer to Claire. can't mask the disgust in my voice. What were you going to do, huh? Walk out of here and come home to me like nothing happened? Cook dinner? Smile and ask me about my day? All while carrying this on your conscience. My voice cracks on the last word. Hate myself for letting her see how much she's broken me. Claire flinches. Her lips part like she wants to say something, but nothing comes out. The silence feels heavier than anything she could have said. Eric, still playing the coward, tries to intervene. Adam, listen, man. Turn to him. My voice sharp enough to cut through steel. Shut up. You don't get to speak to me. You don't get to justify this. Our commotion has drawn attention. Security guard emerges from the clinic. Stocky guy. Walkie-talkie clipped to his belt. Looks more annoyed than concerned. Folks, I'm gonna need you all to calm down, or I'll have to ask you to leave. Ignore him completely. My focus locked on Claire. Finally, she speaks, her voice trembling. Adam, I didn't mean for it to go this far. Laugh bitterly. Shake my head in disbelief. Didn't mean for it to go this far? Repeat her words, my voice rising with each syllable. You don't just accidentally end up in a clinic with your lover, Claire. You don't just accidentally destroy our marriage. Her face changes. Watch guilt give way to something uglier. Pure defiance. You weren't there, Adam, she snaps, her voice rising for the first time. You don't know what it's been like being married to you. Always working. Always distracted. I was lonely. There it is, the classic excuse. Feel the dagger twist deeper into my chest. Lonely? My voice barely above a whisper, trembling with rage. Is that your justification for this? Is that what makes it okay? Before Claire can answer, Diana steps in, her voice sharp and cutting. Oh, please, Claire. Spare us the pity party. You're not lonely. You're just selfish. Claire's mouth snaps shut, her gaze flicking between me and Diana, like a trapped animal looking for escape. The security guard takes another step closer, his tone more commanding now. All right, that's enough. You've made your scene. Take it elsewhere. Eric seizes his chance, grabs Claire's arm, tries pulling her toward his car. Let's go, Claire, come on, he urges, his voice low and hurried. But Claire yanks her arm away, spins back toward me. Adam, please, she begs, tears streaming down her face. Can we just talk alone? Oh, now you want to talk? My voice low but trembling with suppressed rage. Years of love, trust, and devotion, all crumbling around me, leaving nothing but anger and betrayal. Before I can continue, Diana does something unexpected. Reaches into her leather bag, pulls out her phone. Hits record. Say it, Claire, Diana says coldly, her voice like ice. Say it on camera. Tell your husband why you were here today. Holds phone steady. Aims it directly at Claire's pale, tear-streaked face. Claire freezes, eyes wide with panic. Diana, stop. This isn't... Oh, it is, Diana interrupts. You owe him that much. You owe me that much. You don't get to walk away from this without facing the consequences. Claire looks at me, desperation written all over her face. Adam, please, don't let her do this. This isn't who we are. This isn't us. Laugh bitterly at that. Who we are. Claire, you did this. You and Eric. You made this mess. Now you have to own it. Security guard steps closer again. Voice firm and professional. All right, folks. That's enough. If you don't leave now, I'm calling the police. Eric grabs Claire's arm again. More force this time. Let's go, Claire, he says, through gritted teeth. But Claire wrenches free again, turns back to me one last time. Adam, I'm sorry, she whispers, her voice breaking. I didn't mean for it to happen like this. Look at her. The woman I had loved more than anything. Feel nothing but hollow emptiness. You didn't mean for it to happen like this? Repeat her words, voice devoid of all emotion. Well, it did. And now we have to live with it. Diana lowers her phone, her face a mixture of satisfaction and disgust. Come on, Adam. Let's leave them to their pathetic excuses. Turn to walk away. Hear Claire sobbing behind me. Her cries echo in the cold morning air. Don't look back. Can't look back. This isn't the ending I wanted, but it's the one they wrote. Now all that's left is figuring out how to pick up the pieces of the life they shattered. The drive home feels like a blur, knuckles white against the steering wheel. Mind replaying every word, every glance, every sickening detail. Claire, Eric, the clinic, the abortion. Everything spins in my head. My phone buzzes on the passenger seat. It's Diana. Let it ring. Can't talk to her. Not now. Not yet. Pull into our driveway. Claire's car is already there. Of course she beat me home. Cowards always run ahead. Always try to control the damage. Step inside the house. There she is, standing in our kitchen, clutching a mug of chamomile tea. Like it's some kind of lifeline. Her eyes are puffy and red. She's been crying. But I feel nothing. No sympathy. No sadness. Just hollow, ice-cold anger. Adam, she starts, voice cracking. Hold up my hand. Just don't. But she doesn't listen. Please let me explain. It wasn't supposed to what? Happen? Be found out. Snap while throwing my keys on the counter. You planned an abortion with him, Claire. That's not a mistake. That's not a slip-up. That's a goddamn decision. She flinches, her lip trembling. It wasn't like that. You don't understand. Oh, I understand perfectly. Say coldly. You got caught, and now you're trying to salvage whatever you can. For a moment, there's silence. Just the kitchen clock ticking. The faint hum of our refrigerator. Background noises of a life that's falling apart. Then Claire's face shifts. The tears stop flowing. Her shoulders straighten. Lips curl slightly upward, like she's done playing the victim. A new mask settling into place. Watch as Claire's whole demeanor changes. You know what, Adam? Fine. Yes, I was with Eric. And yes, we were at the clinic. But do you really think you're some innocent angel in all of this? My eyes narrow dangerously. Don't you dare turn this around on me. You've been emotionally absent for years, she says sharply, her voice rising with each word. You buried yourself in your work. You stopped noticing me. You stopped caring. Eric, he saw me. He made me feel wanted again. Her words cut deep, but they don't pierce me anymore. I'm beyond feeling hurt now. Just stare at her with pure disgust. Wanted? You wanted to feel wanted? So you threw away 10 years of marriage for that? She smirks, a cruel expression crossing her face. You think you're some perfect husband, Adam? Please, you were halfway out of this marriage. Long before Eric ever showed up, the laugh that escapes me is bitter. Wow. You know, I almost expected some guilt, some remorse. But you're just rotten inside. Her face twitches at that, but she doesn't respond. The doorbell rings. Sharp chime cuts through the tension. We both freeze. Glance at Claire. Her face has gone pale. Expecting someone? I ask. She shakes her head, lips parting slightly in confusion. Walk to the door. Open it to find Diana standing there. Her makeup is smeared. Eyes bloodshot. But there's something resolute about her stance. She's holding an envelope. Adam, she says firmly. You need to see this. Claire appears behind me, voice trembling. Diana, what are you doing here? Diana's glare could set the house on fire. Don't speak to me, Claire. Hands me the envelope, her hand shaking. I found this hidden in Eric's study. Thought you'd want to know. Pull out the papers. Scan them, vision blurring as I realize what I'm holding. Hotel receipts, text message screenshots, photos of Claire and Eric together. Places I recognize. Then the final blow, a pregnancy test stick, tucked into the envelope. Claire's name scribbled on a sticky note attached. Positive, it says. My chest tightens. Hand starts to shake. Turn to Claire. So it wasn't just an affair. It wasn't just some fling. You were pregnant with his child. Claire's face crumbles. Adam, please. Diana crosses her arms, voice sharp as a blade. Don't even try, Claire. You've lied enough for one lifetime. The world feels like it's caving in. My ears are ringing, stomach churning. Claire steps closer, tries reaching out to me. It didn't mean anything, Adam. I swear. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. Step back out of her reach. No? Don't touch me. Don't ever touch me again. Diana turns to leave, but not before locking eyes with me. Whatever you decide to do next, Adam, make sure it's something they'll never forget. And with that, she's gone, leaving silence that suffocates. Claire sinks to her knees in the doorway, sobbing into her hands. But I can't look at her. Turn and walk upstairs. Shut our bedroom door behind me. Whatever comes next, it won't be forgiveness. Stand in our bedroom, staring at the neatly made bed, the same bed where Claire and I shared 1,000 moments. Whispers of love, shared dreams, tangled sheets. Now it all feels tainted, poisoned. Can still hear Claire sobbing softly downstairs. The sound feels distant, like it's coming from another world. My mind is racing, flipping through fragments of our life together, trying to find the moment where everything went wrong. Text notification buzzes on my phone, snaps me out of the trance. It's Diana. You deserve better. If you need anything, call me. Toss the phone onto the bed. Diana has her own mess to clean up, and I have mine. Open the closet, grab my duffel bag, start throwing clothes in haphazardly. Need space? Need air? As I zip up the bag, something catches my eye. Small shoebox, tucked behind Claire's row of expensive heels. Curiosity gets the better of me. Pull it out. Sit on the edge of the bed. Open it. Inside are letters, handwritten letters. The first one begins, Claire, I can't wait until we're finally free from all this. I'm tired of sneaking around. You and me, we deserve better. Love, Eric. My hands start shaking. Flip through them. Dozens of letters, all variations of the same theme. Plans, fantasies, promises. But at the bottom of the box, there's a folder labeled Plan B. Open it. My blood runs cold. legal documents, divorce plans, asset splits, my name on every page. There's even a draft of a separation letter, written in Claire's handwriting. I had been seconds away from losing everything. My head spins as I slam the folder shut. Claire wasn't just cheating on me. She was preparing to leave me. Not just leave me, but gut me financially and emotionally in the process. The rage that courses through me is electric. Vision blurs as I march downstairs. Duffel bag in one hand, the shoebox in the other. Claire is sitting on the couch, knees pulled up to her chest, face streaked with mascara and tears. She looks up when she sees me. Expression twists into fear when she notices the shoebox. Adam, she stammers. Where did you find that? Slam the box onto the coffee table. This was behind your heels, Claire, along with our future, apparently. Her eyes widen. She lunges for the box, but snatch it away. No, you don't get to hide this now. You were planning to leave me, weren't you? And not just leave me. Bleed me dry. She starts crying again. Voice becomes shrill. It wasn't like that. Eric convinced me. He said we could have a better life together. That what? I snap. That you'd scam me out of everything I've worked for? That you'd destroy me in every possible way before skipping off into the sunset with him? She falls silent, head dropping into her hands. Pace the living room, clutching the folder. You know, Claire, I would have fought for us. If you had come clean, if you had been honest, I might have been able to forgive you. But this isn't just infidelity. This is war. Adam, she whispers. Shake my head violently. No. Don't you dare. Don't get to cry now. Don't get to play the victim. When you were holding the knife the whole time, her eyes lock onto mine. For a moment, think I see a flicker of something. Regret maybe, but it's gone just as quickly, replaced by steely defiance. Fine, she says quietly, wiping her tears away. You want the truth, Adam? Yes, I was going to leave you. Yes, I wanted more. And Eric. He promised me more. He promised me freedom. Freedom from this boring, predictable life. My jaw clenches so tight. Think my teeth might crack. Predictable? I spit. You mean stable? You mean loyal? You mean the life we built together? She stands up, voice rising. But I wasn't happy. You think being stable pays for emotional neglect? For feeling invisible? Eric made me feel alive, Adam. Let out a bitter laugh. Alive! You felt alive sneaking around behind my back? Planning my financial execution. While smiling at me over dinner, she freezes. For a moment, neither of us speaks. Then a knock comes at the door. We both turn towards it. Claire's face pales. Who is that? Walk towards the door cautiously. Peer through the peephole. It's Eric. His face is bruised, shirt stained with sweat. And what looks like blood. Open the door halfway. Glare at him. You've got 5 seconds to turn around and disappear. Before I do something we'll both regret. But Eric's voice trembles as he speaks. Adam, she's lying to you. Claire bolts from the living room, voice shrieking. Don't listen to him, Adam. He's crazy. Eric shoves a crumpled envelope into my hand. Look at this, please. Before you do anything, just look at this. The envelope feels heavy in my hand. Claire screams from behind me. Eric, stop! Step back into the house. Slowly open the envelope. Inside is a sonogram. And on the corner, in Claire's handwriting, a name, Baby Adam. My head snaps up. Everything around me feels like it's spinning. Eric's voice is soft. It wasn't mine, Adam. The baby, it was yours. Claire collapses to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. The world goes silent. As the weight of those words settles in my chest like a stone, this isn't just betrayal anymore. This is something far, far worse. The sonogram feels heavy in my trembling hands. The black and white image, staring back at me, like a ghost from a life I didn't even know I'd lost. Baby Adam, my child, my child. My head is spinning. Look from the sonogram to Eric, then back to Claire, who's now collapsed on the floor, her mascara-streaked face buried in her hands. Explain, I say, my voice low, barely above a growl. Claire's head shoots up, her eyes wild, desperate. Adam, please. Explain! I roar. The sound bounces off the walls, cuts through the suffocating silence of the room. She flinches, opens her mouth. But Eric steps forward, his voice shaky. But there's something raw and honest about it. She lied to me too, Adam. She told me the baby was mine. She told me she knew it was mine. But when I found this in her purse, I realized she had been playing both of us. Claire shrieks, leaping to her feet. Eric, shut up! You don't know what you're talking about. But Eric isn't done. His eyes lock onto mine. She was using us both. You for your stability and your money. Me for whatever twisted fantasy she had about escaping her life. Can't breathe. The room feels too small. The walls closing in. Turn to Claire, holding up the sonogram. Was it mine? I asked softly, the words barely making it past the lump in my throat. Her lip trembles. For a moment, thinks she might tell me the truth. But instead, she crosses her arms over her chest, lifts her chin, and says, "Does it even matter now?" The air is sucked out of the room. My stomach drops, as if I'd been punched. "Does it matter?" I repeat slowly. "You carried my child, and it doesn't matter to you?" Her face twists into something unrecognizable, cruel, cold, alien. "It's over, Adam. The baby's gone. What difference does it make now? Are we really going to keep digging up this grave?" Eric looks like he's about to explode, his fist clenched by his sides. "You're a monster, Claire. An absolute monster." She turns to him, sneering. "Oh, don't you dare get self-righteous with me, Eric. You were perfectly happy sneaking around, playing the hero when it suited you. You're just mad because your fantasy didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. Can't take it anymore. Enough. Both of you. Enough." The silence that follows is deafening. Turn to Eric. "Get out." He hesitates, his eyes flicking to Claire, then back to me. "Adam, if you need..." "Get out!" Without another word, Eric turns and walks out the door. Close it behind him. Turn back to Claire. She's standing there, arms still crossed, chin lifted in defiance. "Sit down," I say. She hesitates, but eventually drops onto the edge of the couch, legs crossed tightly, like she's trying to protect herself from me. Sit across from her. Leaning forward, elbows on my knees, still clutching the sonogram in one hand. "You're going to tell me everything right now. Every lie. Every secret. I want it all out on the table. Because if you lie to me one more time, Claire, I swear to God, I will make sure you regret it." For the first time, see genuine fear in her eyes. She lets out a shaky breath and nods. Okay, I'll tell you." Brace myself, but nothing could have prepared me for what came next. "It started about a year ago," she begins, voice quiet but steady. "You were working late a lot. You were distant. I felt invisible. Eric was there. He was charming. He was attentive. It started with casual conversations, coffee breaks, and then it escalated." Clench my jaw, force myself to stay silent. As she continues, "I didn't mean for it to go so far, but then I missed my period. I took a test, and it was positive. I panicked. I didn't know if it was yours or his. I told Eric it was his because I thought if he believed it, he'd take responsibility, and we could start over." Her voice breaks, but I feel nothing, just a deep, hollow emptiness. "And the abortion?" I ask coldly. She hesitates, looking down at her hands. "Eric convinced me it was the best option. He said we couldn't build a life together. With complications." "Complications?" I repeat, voice dripping with venom. Her shoulders sag. "But when I went to the clinic that day, I couldn't do it. I couldn't go through with it. Freeze in place." "What do you mean you couldn't do it?" She looks up at me, her tear-filled eyes wide. "The baby was never aborted, Adam." The words hit me like a freight train. "What?" "I left the clinic before it happened. I told Eric I went through with it, but I didn't. I was going to tell you. I was going to come clean. My mind is reeling. My child was still alive." "Where's the baby now, Claire?" She swallows hard. "With my sister. I couldn't keep her here. I thought if you found out, you'd never forgive me." A whirlwind of emotions crashes over me. Rage, confusion, disbelief, hope. Stand up so suddenly, Claire flinches. "Give me your sister's address." "Now." She hesitates for half a second, before scribbling it on a notepad. "Grab my keys." The sonogram still clutched in my hand. "Adam, wait!" Claire calls, as I open the door, but don't look back. Somewhere out there is my child, a baby girl, who had been hidden from me, used as a pawn in a game I never agreed to play. And I was going to find her, no matter what it took. The address Claire scribbled feels like a lifeline, though every part of me knows this isn't going to be simple. My hands grip the steering wheel, so tightly my knuckles turn white. As I speed through the darkened streets, my mind races. Thoughts of a baby girl I've never met. Thoughts of Claire's twisted betrayal. And the haunting realization that I had been living in a carefully constructed lie for over a year. Pull up to the modest suburban house, just outside town. The porch light is on, casting a pale glow onto the cracked pavement. Cut the engine, sit there for a moment, trying to calm the storm brewing inside me. My daughter, my child, is somewhere behind those walls. With a deep breath, step out of the car, walk up to the door, knock twice, hard. The door creaks open, and there stands a woman I recognize as Claire's older sister, Marie. She's wearing an oversized sweater, hair pulled into a messy bun, has the unmistakable exhaustion of someone who'd been carrying a heavy secret. Adam, she says softly, her voice cracking. Where is she, Marie? I say. Voice firm but not unkind. Marie hesitates, glancing behind her, into the dimly lit hallway. You shouldn't be here. I have every right to be here. That's my daughter in there. Isn't it? Marie's lips tremble. For a moment, think she might close the door on me, but then she sighs and steps aside. Come in. Walk into the small living room. The faint smell of baby powder and formula hits me like a punch to the gut, and then I see her. She's sleeping peacefully in a bassinet. Near the couch, her tiny chest rising and falling. With each breath, a soft blanket with pink polka dots covers her, her tiny hand clenched into a fist. My knees almost buckle. She's mine, I whisper. Voice breaking, Marie nods slowly. Her name is Lily. Lily, my daughter. Take a step closer. Afraid to wake her, afraid to disturb the fragile serenity of the moment. Why? I choke out. Why would Claire do this? Why hide her from me? Marie crosses her arms and sighs. You know my sister, Adam? She's always been impulsive, selfish. She thought she could control everything. Eric, you, even this little girl. But when she realized how deep she dug herself, she panicked. She asked me to take Lily for a little while, but it's been months now. I've been raising her like she's mine. Tears well up in my eyes. Quickly wipe them away. I want to take her home, Marie. She's my daughter. She belongs with me. Marie hesitates. Adam, are you sure you're ready for this? You've just had your world turned upside down. A baby isn't something you can just fix everything with. Look her dead in the eyes. She's my child. I missed her first cry, her first smile, her first everything. I won't miss anything else. Marie nods slowly. Okay, but let me pack some of her things. As Marie disappears into the back room, kneel beside the bassinet, gently touch Lily's tiny hand. Her fingers twitch in her sleep. Something deep inside me cracks wide open. I'm here now, I whisper. And I'm never leaving you. But the moment is short-lived. The front door bursts open behind me. Slamming against the wall, Claire storms into the house, her face red with anger, her eyes wild. What the hell are you doing here, Adam? She screams. Marie reappears in the doorway, holding a small diaper bag. Claire, stop it! You need to leave. But Claire isn't listening. She storms over, her finger pointed inches from my face. You think you can just waltz in here and take her? She's mine. She's not a possession, Claire, I bark back, rising to my feet. She's our daughter. And you lied? You hid her from me. You don't get to play the victim here. Claire's face twists into an ugly snarl. You'll never understand why I did it. You think you're some kind of hero. You're not. You're a boring, predictable man. Who couldn't keep me happy enough? Marie shouts, stepping between us. Both of you stop it! There's a baby sleeping here. The room falls silent, except for Lily's soft breaths. Claire's shoulders heave, her breath sharp and erratic. Her eyes flick to the bassinet. For a moment, think I see regret. But just as quickly, her expression turns cold again. You'll regret this, Adam, she says, voice low and venomous. You'll regret every second of this. She turns on her heel, storms out of the house, slamming the door behind her. Marie exhales shakily. I didn't expect her to follow you here. Bend over the bassinet. Carefully pick Lily up in my arms. For the first time, she stirs slightly, her tiny face scrunching up, before settling back into sleep. She's safe now, I say softly. Holding her close to my chest, Marie wipes a tear from her cheek. Take care of her, Adam, and take care of yourself. Nod solemnly, holding Lily as if she were the most precious thing in the world, because she is. As I walk out into the night, with my daughter in my arms, realize something. This isn't over. Claire won't let this go easily. But one thing is clear, no matter what happens next, I will fight tooth and nail to protect Lily from the chaos her mother had created, and for the first time in weeks, feel something that had been absent for far too long. Hope. Driving home with Lily in the back seat feels surreal. Every few seconds, glance in the rearview mirror, half expecting her to vanish, as if she were just another cruel illusion, conjured up by Claire. But there she is, sleeping soundly in her car seat, her tiny fists balled up under her chin. My house feels unfamiliar when I carry her inside. The living room, which had once been a place of quiet evenings, with Claire and wine glasses on the coffee table, now feels like an empty stage. After the final curtain had fallen, place Lily in the temporary crib I'd set up in the guest room. She stirs slightly, her soft breath filling the silence. Welcome home, sweetheart, I whisper, brushing a strand of wispy hair from her forehead. As I stand there watching her sleep, the weight of everything comes crashing down. Claire's lies, her manipulation, her venomous words, they swirl around me like smoke. suffocating and inescapable. But amidst all that wreckage, there is this child, my daughter. Sink into the chair beside the crib, bury my face in my hands. My body shakes with silent sobs, not from weakness, but from exhaustion, the exhaustion of carrying betrayal. Anger and grief on my shoulders, for far too long, but I couldn't break now. Lily needs me. The next few days are a blur. Diaper changes, formula bottles, and sleepless nights replace my once structured life. There are moments when I catch myself staring at her, overwhelmed by how something so pure could come from such a twisted mess. But peace never lasts long, does it? It starts with the phone calls, first from unknown numbers, then from Claire herself. Ignore them all, refusing to let her venom seep into my fragile sanctuary. Then come the emails. The first one is short and cryptic. You can't keep her from me. I'll do whatever it takes to get her back. The second one a day later. You think you've won, Adam? This isn't over. Not by a long shot. By the third email, Claire's mask has fully slipped. If you don't give me Lily back, I'll make sure you regret it. You think the courts will side with you? I'll paint you as an unstable, unfit father. I'll ruin you. Slam the laptop shut, my pulse pounding in my ears. It wasn't enough for Claire to destroy our marriage. Now she wants to use our daughter as a pawn in whatever twisted game she's playing. Pick up my phone, dial my lawyer, a no-nonsense woman named Allison Chase, who had handled a few of my business disputes in the past. Adam, she answers, voice sharp and professional. Allison, I need your help. It's about custody, and it's about Claire. Within an hour, I'm sitting in her downtown office. Allison flips through the stack of documents I'd brought. Emails, text messages, even the sonogram photo I'd clutched so tightly. On the night I confronted Claire, she's backed into a corner, Adam, Allison says, setting the papers aside. She knows she doesn't have the upper hand anymore, and that makes her dangerous. But we'll build a case. You have proof of her lies, her manipulation, the fact that she abandoned Lily for months. The courts will see through her act. But what if they don't, I say, my voice cracking. What if they buy into whatever sob story she spins? Allison leans forward, her gaze steady. That's not going to happen. But you need to prepare yourself. Adam, custody battles are ugly, and Claire will play dirty. Are you ready for that? Think of Lily, her peaceful face as she sleeps in the crib, her tiny hand clutching my finger. I'll do whatever it takes. Allison nods. Good. Then let's get to work. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak of the house, every distant car passing by the window, feels like a threat. Claire's words echo in my mind. I'll make sure you regret it. Around 2 a.m., as I pace the hallway, a loud bang echoes from the front door. My heart stops. Rush to Lily's room. Make sure she's still asleep. Before grabbing the baseball bat I kept in the hall closet. Who's there? I shout as I approach the door. No response. Peek through the peephole. See no one. Slowly crack the door open. Find an envelope taped to it. My name scrawled across the front, in Claire's unmistakable handwriting. Rip it open, my hands trembling. As I unfold the letter, you can lock your doors and hide behind your lawyers, Adam. But I'm always one step ahead. Enjoy your time with Lily while you can. It won't last. Attached to the letter is a photo. It's a picture of my house, taken from across the street. At night, someone had been watching us. Stumble back, clutching the envelope, like it's a ticking bomb. My breaths come fast and shallow as I scan the street through the window. The shadows seem darker, the silence more menacing. Claire isn't bluffing. She's escalating. Rush back to Lily's room. Check the locks on every window. Pull the curtains shut. Then sit beside her crib, the baseball bat resting against my knee. And wait, if Claire wants a war, she'd get one. But she had made one critical mistake. She underestimated just how far I was willing to go to protect my daughter. The following days pass in a haze of paranoia and exhaustion. Every creak of the floorboards, every shadow outside the window, feels like Claire's presence, lurking and waiting to strike. Barely sleep, the baseball bat never far from my side. But in those sleepless hours, as Lily coos softly in her crib, I find strength I didn't know I had. Allison works tirelessly on the custody case. She has gathered mountains of evidence. Claire's abandonment, her emails dripping with threats, her unstable behavior. But deep down I know, this won't be decided in a courtroom. Claire isn't playing by the rules. I was proven right 2 nights later. It was past midnight when I heard the faint click of the backyard gate. Freeze mid-step in the hallway, every nerve in my body lighting up like a live wire. Lily is asleep in her crib. Move swiftly, grabbing the bat, crouching low near the window, peeking out into the yard. There she is, Claire. She's dressed in all black, her blonde hair pulled into a messy ponytail. She has a set of keys in her hand, and she's approaching the back door. My stomach turns to stone. I could have called the police. I could have let the professionals handle it. But something snaps in me. This woman, this venomous, manipulative stranger, was not going to take my daughter. Fling the door open, just as Claire was about to insert the key. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I roar. Claire jumps back, her eyes wide. But it wasn't fear I saw. It was pure, unfiltered hatred. "She's mine, Adam," she screams, pointing a trembling finger at me. "You think you can just take her away from me? You're a pathetic excuse for a man. And you're going to lose. She's not a trophy, Claire. She's a child. A child you abandoned. A child you lied about." Claire lunges toward me, her hands clawing at my chest. I catch her wrists. "Hold her back!" But she writhes and thrashes, like an animal caught in a trap. "Get out of here, Claire," I bark, shoving her backward. "You're done. You're not stepping foot in this house again." She stumbles, but catches herself, her face twisted into an ugly mask of rage. "You think this is over?" she hisses. "You think you've won? You're nothing, Adam. Nothing without me." And with that, she turns and storms out of the yard, disappearing into the night. Slam the door shut and lock it, my heart racing like a drum in my chest, my hands trembling. As I press my forehead against the cool wood, this wasn't just about custody anymore. This wasn't about lawyers or courtrooms. Claire had gone completely unhinged, and now she was a threat not just to me but to Lily.